Imagine this. You wake up in the morning, and before the sunlight even touches your face, a screen does. The glow of your phone becomes your sunrise. Notifications, messages, and updates flood your mind before you've even spoken a word. It feels normal, but beneath the surface, something deeper is happening. Billions begin their mornings this way. Not with silence, not with reflection, but with devices that demand attention instantly. Decades ago, mornings were different. The sound of birds, the smell of coffee, the voice of someone in the kitchen. Now, we wake up to alerts, curated feeds, and endless streams of content competing for a single thing: our attention. This is the world we've built. A world where being always connected isn't just common. It's expected. Look around anywhere: a park, a train, a family dinner table. Heads tilted downward, fingers swiping endlessly, eyes locked on rectangles of glass. We call this normal life, but is it? The average adult now spends over 7 hours a day on screens. That's nearly half of waking life. For teenagers, the number climbs higher. Social media.gaming, streaming.messaging, an endless carousel of stimulation. Even toddlers, once playing freely, now stare at glowing tablets. Technology has transformed us. It has connected us beyond imagination. We can speak across the globe instantly. We can share ideas, stories, and dreams without borders. But hidden in this miracle is a shadow, because every swipe, every scroll, every ping comes with a cost. What happens to our minds when silence disappears? When boredom vanishes? When our attention is sliced into fragments by digital noise? The truth is, we are only beginning to understand. Psychologists and neuroscientists warn of profound effects. Anxiety, depression, sleep disruption, reduced focus, shifts in how we relate to others, and even ourselves. This isn't just a story about technology. It's a story about us, how we embraced digital life, how we traded quiet moments for endless stimulation, and how, without noticing, we built a world where stepping away from screens feels almost impossible. Rewind 30 years. One computer in a home. It hummed, it clicked, it connected with a sound we can still hear, the dial-up tone. We logged on, and then we logged off. Today, there is no off. Screens are everywhere, in our pockets, on our wrists, at our desks, even strapped to our faces. We live inside a constant stream of information, and while it feels like progress, it also creates invisible chains. Try putting your phone down for one day. No social media, no email, no videos. For many, the thought feels uncomfortable. For some, impossible. That discomfort is no accident. Technology is designed to keep us coming back. Every notification, every streak, every swipe, crafted to capture attention. What began as a tool has become a trap. But here lies the paradox. We don't see it as a trap. We see it as freedom. We see it as connection. We see it as life. Screens shape how we work, play, and love. They are the windows to the world. But when a window becomes a wall, blocking us from reality, we must ask, at what cost? This is the story of an age where screens never sleep, and neither do we. Soon, we will explore what this means for our mental health, how the very tools designed to connect us may be quietly breaking us apart. The glow of the screen feels harmless. It entertains us. It connects us. It informs us. But behind that glow lies an invisible cost. Every hour spent scrolling, every night spent staring into the light of a device leaves a mark on the mind. Studies now show that heavy screen use is not just a habit. It is reshaping our brains. Sleep disruption, anxiety, depression, attention that fractures more easily with each passing day, and for many, an endless restlessness. A feeling of being always on, yet never truly present. Screens keep us stimulated long past the time our minds need rest. The blue light tricks our brain into thinking it is still day. Sleep gets shorter. Dreams fade. The cycle repeats, and without deep rest, our emotions become fragile. We wake up tired, we wake up anxious, we wake up already overwhelmed. But sleep is only the beginning. The constant flood of notifications and updates keeps our brains in a state of alert. Every ping, every buzz, every vibration, it's a small spark of stress. Individually, it feels like nothing. But together, day after day, it becomes a storm inside the nervous system. Psychologists now speak of digital anxiety, that uneasy feeling when the phone isn't nearby, the itch to check messages even when none arrive, the restless fear of missing out on something, anything. This is not freedom, it is a tether, a chain made of algorithms and alerts. And then there is the comparison. Social media feeds us an endless stream of curated lives, vacations, achievements, perfect smiles. What we don't see are the struggles behind the scenes. Yet our minds measure ourselves against these illusions. And in that measurement, many begin to feel small, lonely, unworthy. For teenagers, this is especially powerful. Their identities are still forming, their sense of self fragile. And a single post, a single comment, a single moment online can leave deep emotional scars. The paradox deepens. We are connected to more people than ever before, yet rates of loneliness and depression are rising because a message on a screen cannot replace a voice in the room. Cannot replace a touch. A video call cannot replace the warmth of sitting face to face. We are connected, but many of us feel more alone than ever. These effects are not accidents. They are the result of design. Apps are engineered to capture attention, to keep us scrolling, to feed us more even when we've had enough. Our mental health is the price of their profit. The hidden cost of constant connection is clear. Exhausted minds, anxious hearts. A generation that feels both overstimulated and empty. The question is no longer whether screens affect our mental health. The question is, how much are we willing to lose before we take control? There comes a moment when the noise becomes too much, when the endless scroll, the constant alerts, the digital hum, push the human mind to its edge. This is the breaking point. We were not built for this. For centuries, life followed natural rhythms. Day and night, work and rest, moments of activity, and moments of silence. But screens erased the silence. Now, the day never ends. Work follows us home. Entertainment follows us to bed. And the stream of content never pauses. The result? A generation on the edge of burnout. Burnout is not just exhaustion. It is a deep emptiness, a sense that no matter how much we consume, no matter how much we scroll, it is never enough. We chase dopamine hits with every like, every video, every update. But the more we chase, the less satisfied we feel. It is the paradox of digital life. Always connected, but never fulfilled. Some describe it as drowning in information. Too many messages, too many opinions, too many stories of success, disaster, and conflict, all crammed into the same screen. The mind cannot process it all, and so we become numb. Scrolling, but not feeling, consuming, but not living. This overstimulation has consequences. Attention spans shrink, focus shatters, tasks feel harder to complete, and in moments when the phone is silent, many feel restless, uneasy, even afraid of the stillness. Silence, once natural, has become unbearable. And then there is the great irony. We are more connected than any generation before us. Yet many of us feel more isolated than ever. A room full of glowing screens can feel colder than an empty room, because true connection requires presence. It requires listening, seeing, and feeling another person in real time. Digital life promises closeness, but often delivers distance. The breaking point shows itself in different ways. The employee who checks email past midnight until exhaustion sets in. The teenager who refreshes their feed again and again, searching for validation. The parent who feels guilty, present at home but absent in attention. These are not isolated struggles. They are symptoms of a society overwhelmed. At some point, the human spirit asks, Is this sustainable? Can we continue to live in constant stimulation without breaking further? The evidence suggests we cannot, because when we never disconnect, we risk losing the ability to truly connect. The breaking point is here. It is not tomorrow. It is not far away. It lives quietly inside our restless thoughts, our sleepless nights, our endless scrolling. But awareness is the first step. To recognize that being always on has a cost. To see that connection without balance is not connection at all. And in the next chapter, we explore the path forward, the idea of digital detox, not as punishment, but as a chance to reclaim silence, presence, and peace. After the breaking point comes a choice, a quiet turning, a moment when the mind whispers, I need to pause. I need to breathe. I need to return. Digital detox is not a rejection of technology. It is not a fight against progress. It is an invitation to step back, even briefly, from the constant stream, to reclaim moments that were quietly slipping away. The path to balance begins small. A phone left on silent, an hour without social media, a walk without notifications, a meal without a screen. These are not grand gestures, but in them the mind begins to remember stillness. The body begins to feel presence. The heart begins to connect again. In this quiet, the paradox of digital life begins to unravel. We realize that satisfaction is not found in endless scrolling, but in attention, intention, and presence. A conversation without distraction, a thought without interruption, a moment without comparison. This is where connection thrives. Not through likes, comments, or shares, but through empathy, listening, and undivided attention. Detoxing does not mean isolation. It means choosing depth over breadth, meaning over noise, a rhythm that honors the natural cycles of life. Work and rest, engagement and stillness, connection and solitude. And as the mind recalibrates, clarity returns. The anxiety fades, the restlessness softens. The ability to focus, to create, to enjoy rebounds in ways that screens alone cannot deliver. The human spirit thrives on balance. Technology is a tool, not a master. And when we reclaim our attention, we reclaim ourselves. Digital detox is not a one-time act. It is a practice, a habit, a gentle return to rhythms that our minds and bodies have always known. Because in the quiet, in the pauses, in the presence of our own thoughts and the people around us, we discover what was missing all along. Connection.awareness, peace, and the journey continues, one mindful moment at a time.